Hello and welcome to the virtual college exploration. We are here to show you all about Waynesburg. So if you have any questions during this session, go ahead and click on the Q&A button in the bottom. That will be a way for you to submit your questions in, and then Emily is going to be able to answer those for you. Your camera and microphone as a viewer are off, so no worries there. We're hoping that you have a pen and paper and you're ready to take some notes. If you'd like to sign up for more sessions, you can go to oacac.org and look and see which other ones are available. The recording for this will be available in about a week, so you can go to YouTube and look for this later. With that, I'm going to pass it over to Emily from Waynesburg. She is going to talk all about her school.
Hi guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to share my screen so you guys can see everything. Here we go. So again, welcome. My name's Emily Smelly. I'm one of the admissions counselors at Waynesburg University. We're located near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So from Ohio, I guess it just depends where you are, but not too far. I grew up in St. Clairsville, Ohio, so right along the border of the Wheeling, West Virginia line. I lived in that tri-state area. So Waynesburg wasn't a far hike for me. It was about an hour or so. So again, I guess it just depends where you are in Ohio, but we are located near Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let me get this going on here. There we go. So a little overview. We're a private Christian liberal arts university. We were founded in the 1800s, and our mission at Waynesburg is to educate students to make connections between their faith, their learning, and their serving, which a lot of students and faculty, you can say, are like three pillars on our campus. We really do love to help students find those connections between those things, faith, learning, and serving, and how easy it is to make those connections. So throughout my next couple slides, I'm going to go over some of those with you. So faith on campus. We have about 150 plus different events that take place every year on campus. Those things can, range from guest speakers, chapel services. We have Bible studies, mission trips, service trips, just opportunities for students to kind of dive in to their faith while on campus. And of course, nothing's going to be thrown at you that you would be asked to do that you may not be comfortable in doing. A lot of this is just encouraged and available for students. So I think that was something that was really cool and unique about the atmosphere on campus. It was a different atmosphere than a lot of other universities and schools. So Faith on Campus, again, there's 150 plus different events that take place. So to tie that in with the learning aspect, so faith and learning, we have 70 plus different major concentrations and the minor options as well. I think on my next slide, I'll go into some of those with you guys, so you'll get a chance to see all the different majors and minors that we do have. We have about 1,600 students on campus, so we're on the smaller side, but I wouldn't consider us super small. Our student to faculty ratio is 13-1. So again, for every 13 students, we have a faculty member. So it's very one-on-one in your classrooms, with our average class size at around 16 students. And again, that just depends on the class. If I think back to when I was in school, I remember my English class, I think I had like 9 people in that class, which was really nice. I mean, I really got to know my professor. They got to know me. I got to know the students that were in there as well. It was just a nice learning environment for me to ask questions and, just to learn, I guess you could say. So that was one thing I really enjoyed with the learning aspect and the smaller class sizes, was that I felt that connection with my professor and my learning. So again, I said this is a little list of all of our majors and minors. Again, we have 70 plus different concentrations. 5 of them are what we call an integrated program, meaning during your last year on campus, so senior year, you can start taking some grad school classes, which again is going to be under your tuition, so nothing you'd have to pay extra. But by the time you would graduate, you'd have classes for your master's degree already under your belt for you to finish that maybe within a year and a half, depending on the program. And some of those programs would be, I know psychology has that for counseling. Criminal justice has options for students to do that, education, and there were a couple others as well for students to look into. So again, there's options for students to kind of continue on that education. So again, I know this is very small and fine print. This is also available on our website with more information on every concentration too. So if you went to waynesburg.edu and you clicked our undergraduate button, this will have a list of all the majors for you, and you can click them, see some pictures, get some more info, see the professors. and get a feeling for what each major would be like for you. But I wanted to make sure I included this in here for you guys, just to kind of see the different options and focuses that students can take at Waynesburg. So tying in to the learning aspect and all the majors, we have tons and tons of opportunity for hands-on learning. I don't know about you guys, but I am a visual or hands-on learner. Sometimes it's hard to sit in class and just take everything in, a professor talking for a very long time or early in the morning. It can be hard to digest, every single day for a semester or a year or 4 years. So it's nice. A lot of our programs and a lot of our professors weigh this heavily on the learning experience for our students, that hands-on experience. And again, I think that's something it sticks a lot better with a lot of students once you put to practice what you're learning in the classroom. So just for some examples, some hands-on learning opportunities for our criminal justice students, we have a CSI center where they'll do mock crime scenes, home invasions, different things like that. Again, putting to practice what you're learning in the classroom. Next to that is our TV studio for our communication students. So again, they're doing live broadcasts, sports broadcasts, news broadcasting, coverage for all of the events on campus, writing our school newspaper articles for our papers, different things. Again, you're putting to practice all the things that you're learning in the classroom. Down here is our live trading stock room for business students. So again, watching stocks go up and down each year, different companies, things like that. And it gives them an option to kind of put to practice there. Athletic training, you'll be assigned to a sports team. So you'll be part of that team from day one, doing rehab, applying heat. You'll be in the training clinic. And again, I know I'm kind of throwing a lot of information at you guys, but it's very important, I think, the hands-on learning aspect in your learning experience. Another one I know that's not on here is nursing students. We have clinical rotations that you'll be a part of, and that's something you start sophomore year. So again, we try to start our students, I don't want to say right around sophomore year, but it could be any year. I guess it just depends on the program and what you're going into, but you will have hands-on learning experience. You will have an internship opportunity. You will put to practice all the things that you're learning in the classroom, which I can't reiterate enough how important I think that is in your learning experience. So I wanted to be sure I included that in here for you guys. Next will be serving on campus. So we went over faith, learning, and now serving. Service is a lot on campus. It's something that we, I think, have huge hearts for just as a community and as a campus whole. But everyone together, so students, faculty, staff, we complete around 50,000 hours of community service each year, which if you think about that and kind of digest that, it's a lot. It's very encouraging to see that number and just knowing that our campus takes pride in using our hands and feet to serve others, not just ourselves, but others in the community, others in the United States, others just around the world in general. So again, there's tons of opportunities for students to get involved in service. And again, that could be in Waynesburg, so around the Waynesburg community. That could be in Pittsburgh, so a surrounding community as well, in your hometown, on trips that you may take domestically here in the States or trips that you may take internationally with the school. There's tons and tons of opportunities for students to get involved in that. So faith, learning, and serving, again, are three huge pillars on Waynesburg's campus. So I wanted to be sure I went over those with you guys just to kind of reiterate how important that is to us. And we hope to kind of, get your hearts in those areas as well. So jumping ship, we're going to go over a little bit of our athletics for any of those students here interested in checking out the next step for athletics or playing at the next level. So we're part of the NCAA or Division III, and we're part of the President's Athletic Conference, so the PAC. We play schools kind of along all Route 79 in Pittsburgh and in near Pennsylvania. Schools like Geneva, Westminster, Teal, Grove City, Washington and Jefferson, Waynesburg, and there's a lot of them in the PAC conference. But to go over some of them, here's a list of all the men's and women's varsity sports teams for students to get involved in. If interested, you guys can drop some information down in the Q&A box if there are any questions, again, about anything I went over or specifically sports. And I'll always pass along information to coaches for students that are interested in getting that to them. We, again, would love to get you connected, not only with us just here at Waynesburg, but with the coaches too, because that can be a super important part of your college search and what's next for you. A lot of students weigh this heavily on where they're going to go. So I want to make sure that those questions can get answered for you with all of that information. Now, for students who may not be interested in playing athletics or playing at the next level, or at least varsity level, maybe with that huge commitment of time and efforts, we have tons of opportunities for intramurals as well. So these are more of the, I don't want to say free kind of options, are just like free lenient. I guess they happen later in the evening. So a lot of students are kind of done with classes, done with homework, and it's kind of a time just to get together, hang out, and play some pickup games. So again, those are going to always be available for students to do that. Again, the time commitment is not going to be as heavy as it would be for varsity sport, but again, options for students to get together, let them stress out, have fun, and meet some new people as well. So again, keep in mind that would be an option for you aside from the varsity level. Okay, so lastly, I'm going to go through a little 10-step process of just how the college search hopefully can look like for you, at least what it looked like for me, and I thought was pretty helpful and beneficial. So I wanted to kind of go over that with you guys as well. But step one, I would say, would you guys to visit campuses, specifically Waynesburg, of course. I would love for you to come down, check out our campus, see what it looks like for you. I had the best 4 years ever while I was there, but I want you to come down to campus to get a feel for what it would be like for you there. Everyone has different experiences. Everyone has different cues, things that they're looking for in a school. And I want to make sure that Waynesburg has all of that for you as well. So again, step one, specifically visit campus. And again, that could be Waynesburg or any school that you're considering at this point. Get a chance to go down to the campus, see what it looks like for you. That again is going to make or break kind of your decision for you. You should hopefully get a fuzzy feeling like, yes, like I can see myself going to school here for the next 4 years, or I can see myself growing here. So again, step one, visit campus. Next would be to apply. Our application is free online and available all throughout the fall for free. So I encourage you to check that out. We did have an early application deadline of November 1st. We did extend that until the end of the semester. So we're looking right around like December 14th, I think it is. So I should have updated this. But again, December 14th is an early application deadline, and that's just for students to be eligible to apply for some of our competitive scholarships, which will be coming up here in my next slide. But what we look for in an application, again, paper or online, and it's going to be free for any student applying. And we're going to look for your transcripts to come in with the class schedule that you're taking this year. And then we're also going to look for a test score to come in for you. However, we know it's been crazy this year and students have not been able or may not have been able to sit to take a test just yet, or it's been canceled numerous times. And you're kind of just, waiting to hear back of when that could happen for you. If you haven't been able to take a test, we are not going to require it from you. We'll just look for your transcript to come in. So keep in mind, if that's something that you may think is holding you back, don't let that hold you back. Still send us everything that you have and we'll move forward with your application for you. So some of the requirements that we look for on the application or your transcript is obviously going to be college prep curriculum that you have. All of your guidance counselors have likely been working on that for you guys, and that's in order for you to graduate in 4 years. So essentially, if you're able to graduate this year, that's what we're looking for, making sure that you have all the right requirements done for your classes. We're going to look for right around a 3.0 GPA or higher. And as for test scores, just to give you a little idea of what we're going to look for, is right around a 980 for the SAT or a 19 for the ACT. And again, this is just what we may look for in an application, not necessarily what we're only going to require for students. This is going to get students a good base scholarship. So again, why we might look for it just slightly. Once you apply and send all your information in to us, we're going to send out your official packet in the mail with your admission decision. And again, that'll come to you via mail and also an email. And for any student qualifying, you're going to be eligible for a scholarship. And that could range anywhere from about $3,000 all the way up to $19,000 per year off of your tuition, which again, in these next couple slides, I'll have info on all the scholarships and then even a breakdown of our tuition. So we'll go over that with you guys as well. But again, just to let you know, once you apply, you'll receive your admission decision in the mail and also via email as well. So here's a little list of our achievement awards. Again, they can range anywhere from about $6,000 up to $16,000. So again, keep in mind, this is something for students that you've earned. This is the hard work that you've put into your high school career. That's what we're going to weigh whenever we award these scholarships. We're going to check out your cumulative GPA and then your high school test scores as well if you did have the chance to take them. Again, if you didn't have the chance, don't think anything's going to hold you back. We will review and award just based off of your GPA. So again, keep in mind right around $6,000 up to $16,000. And for out-of-state students down here, we have a state scholarship of $3,000. So again, for any students coming out of state or applying out of state, you will tack on an additional $3,000 to your achievement award. So yours could range anywhere from $9,000 up to $19,000. And again, that's just based off of your GPA, your test scores, and then coming from Ohio. So again, I wanted to make sure you kind of saw the breakdown of what we're looking for whenever you guys apply. Now here's a little breakdown of our tuition. Tuition's right around $25,000, and that's just your classes, and then we tack on all your fees for a total with all of your housing information, meal plans, all of that stuff. It's going to be right around $36,000 with everything included. And again, that's from your classes, your fees, room and board, meal plan, everything's going to be put together for right around $36,000. Now, again, this was this year's incoming class, so I would anticipate next year's to look maybe a little bit closer to $37,000. Again, same thing will be included: tuition, fees, housing, everything. So again, $37,000 for tuition, and your achievement award that you applied for in your application, that'll come off of your tuition every single year, something that follows you again every year while you're at Waynesburg, and something you wouldn't have to reapply for. It's just automatic towards your tuition. So again, I know I threw a lot of numbers at you guys within just a couple of minutes. Please feel free to use the Q&A box for any questions. Please drop them down there. I would gladly answer those for you. But again, I thought it was super important to put these numbers in here for you guys, because I know this can be a big part of a college search. So again, feel free to ask those questions. Now we're on to step 4. So again, I know we had went over the early admission deadline was November 1st. We extended that until mid-December. So for students to qualify and apply for competitive scholarships, we look for them to be applied and admitted by mid-December. Scholarship applications are due in January. We just set the date for January 8th. So we're just about 2 months away, which is very, very crazy to think about, that we're only 2 months away from January. But keep in mind, that's what we're going to be looking for any of our competitive scholarships. And then our interviews will take place in February, which we will go over once students have been selected and whoever has been selected. And by the end of February, students will have an idea if they've received any competitive scholarships. So here on this next slide, I want to go over some of those scholarships with you to give you an idea about them. Our Bonner Scholarship is for students interested in or have a passion for service. They do about 140 hours a semester of service, which sounds like a lot, but it's very doable for students, and especially students who may be very involved on campus. Athletes, maybe heavy workload with their major, things like that, working in general. It's a very doable scholarship. Time management's going to come into play, obviously. But again, this is for students who have a heart or passion for service. And again, they complete about 140 hours a semester of service. This scholarship's $3,000 per year, and they award this to about 15 incoming students every incoming class, so every freshman class coming in. Next would be our Stover Center for Constitutional Studies and Moral Leadership Scholarship. Super long name. We break it down just to our Stover Scholarship, but this is a $5,000 scholarship per year. We award this to 5 students every incoming class. And this scholarship is for students specifically interested in maybe pre-law, history, economics, political science, students kind of looking to take those next couple steps, and students who have a heart or passion for constitutional studies. Again, it's a little bit more competitive than the Bonner Scholarship. They only award this to 5 students, but keep in mind something that students can look into doing. Unfortunately, our next scholarship, the Founder Scholarship, it's exclusively for Pennsylvania students. So I will save from going over that with you guys, since it's a full tuition and fees scholarship. I don't want to get anyone's hearts set on that one, but it's just exclusively for Pennsylvania students, unfortunately. However, if there is anyone listening that may have a Pennsylvania address, this is awarded to 3 Pennsylvania students, and they look for a 3.5 GPA or higher, and a 1200 or higher on the SAT, and a 26 or higher on the ACT for applications to come in. Other than that, this is all I wanted to go over with you guys with competitive scholarships, just to give you a little breakdown of what that would look like for you. Next kind of step for you. So again, I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers at you guys, but again, I don't think I can reiterate this enough, the importance of just knowing what's out there and available for you. Step 5 would be to file your FAFSA, which hopefully a lot of you have done by this point already. It opened October 1st, and it'll open every October 1st for you throughout your 4 years in school. Students are eligible for this. It's a free application for federal student aid. If you go to FAFSA.gov, it'll go over all the information needed for you, ways for you to submit it, kind of walking you through that process. I included Waynesburg's code, but any school that you may be looking to send it to, I think you can send it up to 12 schools. Be sure you do that. Again, this is an option for you to get additional aid off of your tuition. So that big number that I went over with you guys, that $37,000, whatever students you're eligible for on here, whatever aid it may be, that comes off of your tuition for you. So again, it's something that never hurts to apply for. But again, it does vary family to family. On this next slide, I just gave you some information on what is going to be required of you whenever you do go to file, which again, I'm going to guess most of you have filed already, but if you haven't, they're going to look for a username and password, which will be your FSA ID, social security information, tax records, a list of all the schools that you're looking to send to. Again, a lot of the nitty gritty stuff. But again, I wanted to make sure you had this information if you haven't had the chance just yet to file. But I do encourage you to head to FAFSA.gov to file your FAFSA. And if there are any questions about that, please let me know. I'd love to walk you through that process. All right, so step 6, once you have applied to Waynesburg already, you checked out our competitive scholarships, you sent your FAFSA to Waynesburg, we're going to receive that probably around December 1 or here in the next couple weeks or right around that first week of December. Once we get information, our financial aid office puts together financial aid packages for all of our students. We call them financial aid award letters. We hope to get those out to students right around mid-January. So this letter is going to be sent out to anyone who's applied and sent us their FAFSA information. And it's going to break down numbers for you. So this is going to go over the Waynesburg University scholarship and grants that you received, any of the federal, states, and scholarship grants, any work study options that you're available for, outside scholarships that you may have received. This letter is a pretty important letter come January. Obviously, you're at the halfway point of your senior year, and this is going to give you a good idea of tuition and numbers for you. If you're interested in checking out what it may be like, because again, it's not mid-January just yet, so we haven't sent out information, but you can go to waynesburg.edu/mycost, and you can click that, and it asks for all of your information, and it'll give you an idea of what you should be eligible for on the FAFSA. So it'll give you an idea of what's going to be awarded to you. Again, things could change depending on numbers, but it could give you a good idea of just what your financial aid package would look like here at Waynesburg. All right, so step 7, I would encourage you to visit campus again. Now, I know, again, this year has been nothing but pure craziness with the coronavirus, things closing, not being able to travel, things like that. So ideally, students would have a lot of options to go and see campuses a lot more. So this is, again, is something I wanted to go over with you just about the options for visiting campus. So you could register for a personal visit at waynesburg.edu/visit. We are open for personal visits, so we're super excited about that. And we have students coming in. We normally take a student per time slot. So depending on the time slot that's available, we have families coming in, and that gives us time to kind of clean and sanitize to get ready for the next family to come in. And what's unique just again about visiting campus is that you get to see what campus looks like for you. Again, I can go over everything with you guys, tell you all about the fun things and things that I love, but I want you to come to experience that too. And hopefully on your visit to campus, that's something you get to see. So while you're here, you'll get to meet with admissions, tour with one of our students, meet with a coach if that's something you're interested in doing, or just again, check out your options, which we will have some different events coming up like mock crime scene. We're hoping that's something we can do in the spring. Nursing as a career day is something that'll be virtual for students. We're hoping that we can do an overnight visit. Again, ideally, we have this going on the fall. We did have to cancel this year just because of everything that's been happening, but we hope to get that back and going. And just again, different events that go on. So I always encourage students to visit campus again, see what it looks like at a different time of year, at a different state of mind, maybe once you narrow down schools. But again, I encourage you to visit campus again. So steps 8 and 9 kind of go in together. They roll and play hand in hand. But step 8 would be to enroll and deposit. So once you have decided like, yes, like Waynesburg's where I want to go, what should I do next? You would want to deposit. So we have a guaranteed housing of May 1. So for any student that enrolls in deposits before May 1, they're guaranteed housing. And then the deposit amounts would be $250 compared to $125 for resident and commuter. And again, this is just kind of triggering the next couple steps for you. So once you enroll and deposit, we get you started with your scheduling for the fall and then your housing information for the fall as well. So again, it's kind of like a trickle effect. Once you enroll, we're going to get those next couple steps done for you. Step 9 would be to fill out your new student form, which again, this all plays together. Once you enroll and deposit, we send you what's called the new student form. And this is where we get all that information for you for housing, your schedule, and getting you all that sent in there together. So here's just some of the deadlines that we may look for some of those, or when you would expect to get those for students who enroll and deposit before certain deadlines. But again, once you've visited campuses, you got all the information, you went over the numbers, you kind of have an idea of where you want to go. Once you're ready to pull the trigger and kind of take those next couple steps, I do encourage you to enroll and deposit. That again just kind of starts those next couple steps for you. And then lastly would be step 10 is going to campus for orientation. And this is kind of like a yearly process. So this would be coming next August, you'd start your orientation. So again, whenever you would enroll and deposit, you'd figure out classes and scheduling and things like that. We'd help you get ready throughout the summer, and then we'd move you into campus come August. So that was a quick step 1 through step 10 with you guys. That was my last slide. So at this point, I've checked up there. I don't see anything in the Q&A box just yet, but some common questions that we do receive is just about, questions about, how to visit campus, which I'm glad I got to go over with you guys. But again, I encourage you guys to head to waynesburg.edu/visit to check out the visit options that we have. We have virtual options. Again, we're open for personal visits on campus. So come back to campus, see it and everything, meet with one of our faculty members, tour with one of our students, again, get a feeling for what that looks like. And then again, some other questions, or maybe what are some of your top majors? That was something I wish I would have went over with you guys. So I'm going to slide back to the list of all of our majors. And one of those, our top 5 majors, I would say would definitely be nursing as number 1. We're very well known for our nursing program. Next would be criminal justice, forensic science, communications, another popular one, education, business. I think those are some of our top majors, and when I just think of them off the top of my head for a lot of our students. So at this point, though, I hope I went over everything with you guys. Again, I know I threw a ton of information your way, and I hope it was beneficial for you. But if there are any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us at the Waynesburg admissions office. We would be more than happy to work with you and answer those. But again, my name's Emily. I work with all Ohio students coming in. So you will likely hear from me again if you do decide to check out Waynesburg as an option. So again, thank you so much. I'm going to turn this back over to Melissa, who may have some more information for you guys, but I wish you the best in your high school career.
Thank you so much, Emily. That was wonderful information. And I'm sure that if you're watching and you've made it to this point, you are definitely interested in Waynesburg University, and it's definitely worth your time to look into more. So thank you, Emily. When you close out of this session, you're going to get a brief survey. Please take a moment and answer those 4 questions. If you'd like to look at some other sessions that are going on this week, please go to oacac.org. And finally, about next week, you will be able to go to StriveScan's YouTube page and watch the recording from this. Thank you, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.